Hey everybody, Dan Simon YouTube channel, Dan Simon, and today, guys, oh shit, today, night, whatever time it is, but the old 1100 roof sign back there. What's left of the original? But guys, video here today will be titled "My Two Back-to-Back Wins 5 Years Later." This kind of get back into the old 2018 video here. I want to rest my arm up there, but it's kind of blocking everything. But I was thinking about live streaming this one, but guys, 5 years ago today, 5 years ago today was win number two of Berkeley County. Not Berkeley County, but Clark County Fair. But we're going to talk about win number one. But before we talk about all that, if you haven't watched Clark County videos from yesterday, go check them out. They're pretty good. A lot of good videos. I got pretty much everything except for the V6 feature figure eight. When they had that delay in the four-cylinder consi with the car catching on fire, that's when I thought, hey, that's a good time to use the restroom. And I ended up going to get some water and bite to eat real quick. So I was starting to get hungry too. So I was like hustling over there, trying to get that food real quick and try to get back to the thing. By the time I got there, it sounded like that feature was already done. So that's what happened there. All right, guys. Now, what the main story of this this video is, guys. 5 years ago, I had a car that I drove on the road for a while back 6 years ago. I got the car in 2017. Paid like $300 for the car. The car was in good shape and stuff, so I drove it on the road for a little while. Hell, I even drove that same car to Missouri and back. And well, fast forward a couple months later, about 6, 7 months later, the transmission was starting to go out of it, or slipping or something. So I was like, you know what? I paid $300 for this car, and I drove it around on the road. It's a good candidate for a derby car. You know, you only pay $300. Drove it around for a while. I put probably 11 or 12,000 miles on it when I had it on the road. So yeah, the car had really low mileage. It had like 66,000 original miles on it, which is crazy. So I ended up getting the car, taking it off the road. I found me another car for like $450. And that became kind of like my backup daily driver. Then became a daily driver. It was a 94 Olds. And it's on this channel if you want to look it up. Look about back in the 2018 videos, you'll see it. I did a video on it before I got rid of it. And, well, come Derby season of 2017, I was like, well, let's build a car for Chaos in the Valley when it was, when it was in October. Well, we tried to get, we started working on it, stripping the car out, getting it ready. Ended up getting the car all stripped out and stuff, and then Chaos was slowly coming up, but it was just hard at the time because I was working a job and trying to make time to work on derby cars. You're tired from working all day, and you're like trying to. Then on the weekends, you just didn't feel like it. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just save the car for next year. So we ended up saving the car for next year. I ended up that same year, 2017 going into 2018, I ended up getting a V8 car. I was going to use the car at Frederick County Fair, that Buick, but it never. I ended up getting a V8 car, so I'm gonna run the V8 car at Frederick County Fair. So I ran the V8 car, Frederick County Fair. Didn't even do nothing. I lasted about 50 seconds in a V8. So the car itself, well, we still had that car, so I was like, you know what? Let's put that one together for Berkeley. It's that old Caprice bumper in the backyard, and I ended up with putting that on there. We pulled the car in for Berkeley. We had like a week. We had a week to get that car ready. So we got the car in. I mean, the car's stripped out. The only thing we really had to do was move the gas tank and put a bar behind the seat, this and that, and bumper, and a few little major things, loop trans lines, easy stuff. And with me and some of the crew, we got it done. We got the car done in the time. I mean, Friday night, the night before the Derby, we were just piddling around, like wedging the trunk and stuff, doing some bullshit things, painting up the car a little bit more, putting some more graphics on it, just getting it all ready, buttoning up. Well, Saturday comes. Well, that Saturday, I ended up getting the car ready, getting up on the trailer, taking it to Berkeley. Well, we took the Berkeley County Youth Fair. Well, I was in what's called the mid-size heat, which is just nothing but V6 cars. Well, we went out there, and I was using the original fuel tank we had in the back seat because I didn't have that much time to get stuff, so we were just using, what we had. So what happened was we had connectors. Well, the connectors, I forgot to put tape around them. Well, I got hit, and they went like this. And I was like, why did the car shut off, but it's still turning over? And I was like, I thought I had a fuel leak or something. And I ended up figuring that out. So we ended up at the Derby, fixed it. Car fires up. Somehow I blew a tire too in that what was that called, mid class or whatever it was, the 6-cylinder class, mid-size class. That's it, mid-size class. Well, ended up blowing a tire in there. So yeah, so we ended up fixing everything. We ran a little duct tape around that thing so the wires didn't do this again. And so I quickly just go ahead and parked it in line for the free-for-all at the end of the night. Whoever's running at the end of the night, 4s and 6s got to run the free-for-all. I got lucky. I mean, I could have won the 6-cylinder smash up like that, but it's okay. So we ended up winning. I ended up putting in the 6-cylinder smash up that year. The free for all, where you had the 4s and 6s together. So we ended up going out there. I don't know how many cars were in there. About 13. Well, out of 13 cars, I ended up winning it. I mean, it came down to the last couple. If you watch the video, I stall out there or something happens, but I could swear to God, I still swear there was a whistle blown, but I must be hearing things. But I backed up, and I started hearing engines again. I thought they blew a whistle, they had a red flag. And I looked, and I thought it was red. Well, at nighttime, you can't see a goddamn color of a red or green flag when it's in the dark. So I backed up and hit somebody, so I didn't get counted out. So it came down to me and a couple other cars. And it ended up, with that car, you don't see it in the video. If you look up Berkeley County Youth Fair 2018, you'll see a video of me in the free-for-all. Well, what you don't see in that video is when I took one car, the car wedged itself in the corner, so I knocked it in there and got him wedged. He was done. Well, when I came out, I was going after this yellow car in that free-for-all. I hit him. He finally just gave up. So when they came over, and I was looking out the corner of my eye, and I see the guy coming over, and the flagman came over, had the check flag and waved on me. I was like, yeah, I finally fucking did it. I won a fucking derby, I'm not trying to cuss, guys. I'm trying to keep this, it's hard not to cuss, but yeah, I did it. So I got out of that car. And I was like so happy. They gave me the trophy. I'm just holding the trophy and the flag, which I'll show you guys the trophy here in a second. which I still got the trophy from that. Which is this trophy right here. This trophy you can see right here. Well, that's the trophy from my first ever Derby win. You know, I still got it. I kept it. It's something I cherish. And so we celebrated that night. We everybody congratulations. Took a lot of pictures and some video. Well, we didn't take the video of everybody. Yeah, everybody. We took a lot of pictures. And right there it says International Demolition Derby. First place. If anybody's ever ran for International Demolition Derby, if you remember, let me know in the comments. They used to run Berkeley County Youth Fair. So yeah, so I got this trophy to prove this is my first win. Now guys, let's fast forward. Well, the next day I'm thinking, well, I had a car already for Clark. Had this old LeSabre I got for free. Because a lady basically just told me, she's like, if you want it, just take it out of the yard. She's like, I got keys for it and stuff. I'm going to walk over here and get this other trophy. This is from 2019, but similar to what I got for 2018. And, guys, so, 2018, Clark County Fair is coming up. That's next Derby. Well, well, we got these cars. We're getting cars ready for Clark County Figure 8 and the Derby. For the Figure 8 was on Tuesday, and the Derby was on Saturday. That's how they used to do it. Now they just do it all in one day. But we ended up. I was like, I had this one car. Like I said, I had this Buick, 97 or 98 Buick LeSabre. Well, I was going to run that, and somebody goes, why don't you just run your car that you ran at Berkeley? It's like, yeah, you're right. I said, I could take a week off and relax and help with the other cars. Because everybody at that time was up in my garage, up at my dad's house, in my garage. We were all working together on, as a team. So we all worked on everybody's car. My car really didn't need nothing except for I threw another donut tire on it, and I duct taped the door pillars a little bit better. That was it. That's all I did. I think I checked the radiator, put a little water in it, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember. Well, Figure 8 night comes. My buddy wins it. So we get to fast forward to Saturday. That's Saturday. I think the Derby was on Saturday. So there was 4 heats. Yeah, for some reason they split up the 6s so they could have 2 heats, but they just ran them as a one and done. So there was a lot of 6-cylinders showed up. So they just split us in 2 heats. So I was thinking in my head, I was going to say, well, maybe they're just going to run us all together at the end of the thing. So maybe I can at least get first place in the heat. And I can, advance to the feature. It's like, yeah, that way I could at least get the car to the feature. Well, they decided that they're just going to have 2 6-cylinder heats and just do a one and done or something like that. Because they had V8s. They had a good amount of V8s, 6 cylinders, and 4 cylinders, if I remember correctly. But they had a lot of 6 cylinders that year. It's crazy. But so they divided us in half. So but the funny thing is, all of us, me, Alan, Rusty, and James, we were all in the same heat versus a couple other people. And we decided to go out there. We're going to kind of work together a little bit. And that kind of went wrong. Everybody was starting to take out everybody, and I was still running. I was the smart one to use my head and still running. So eventually it just came down to me and this other car, the 33 car. Which you can see these videos still on the YouTube channel. Just look up 2018 Clark County Fair Demolition Derby videos. So we came down to those 2 cars. Me and the 33 car of Wallace. I think that was his name. Well, Wallace ended up, his car was beat the hell up because he was still running. I knew I had the stronger car, but my car was starting to have issues. It would cut off. It was starting to cut out and in and out, but it was still running. Probably, lo and behold, the radiator probably had a hole in it, and we never knew it. So this car was out there. It never overheated. That's the crazy thing. It never overheated, but it ended up just kept going. Like, weird. It's a 3.1 95 Buick Century that just kept going. So it ended up, I was like, this isn't this thing. So I ended up laying some good hits on Wallace. And I guess he just finally gave up. He was done. I laid a hell of a good hit right at the end. I backed up and I was waiting. For this guy. They said, whoa. So I'm waiting for this guy to move again so I can hit him again. And he never moved again. He was dead. His car's done. So they go, your winner is the 1100 of Dan Simon. And I'm like, yeah, I did it again. I was like, and then you hear everybody's like, you go, boy. You hear like everybody, like Rusty over there. He's like a couple car lifts away from me, and you can hear him. He's screaming off the top of his head. And Alan, I'm getting about ready to come out of the car. Alan comes by and congratulates me. So I ended up getting a trophy, something similar to this. I got the real trophy from that night. It's actually in I think it's in a box. I'm gonna find it one day because I want to set them up. The other two trophies I got. So it's kind of similar to this one, but this one, you'll see this one maybe next year when I do 5 years of my final video of Clark County, which I might do a back-to-back rehash of this video, or I just might talk about 5 years later winning Clark County for the second time. But well, the car. Now back to the car. But that's where that trophy's from. It's similar to that, about that size. So I was just using that one for example. But I ended up with a car, and I was done with that car. I was like, I already got 2 wins with it. The car's done paid for itself by now. I mean, I made I think like $200 winning that heat. I made like $150 for winning the other thing. Berkeley, I did win, I think like 150 or maybe 200. I can't remember. Something in between those. So I made almost $400 with the car that I paid $300 for. And you know, I maybe spent a couple bucks. You know, I pretty much broke even with the damn car. So the car is still running, but when I threw it up in gear, I was excited, you know. I threw it up in gear. Well, I tried to get back in the car, drive it off, but the gear shifter was stuck. Well, what happened was, I guess when I made the last hit, it did something with the shifter on the transmission. Well, when we got back, you know, after everything's done, we were getting ready to load the cars up. Well, we started messing with the shifter. Well, the shifter, we got it down. We broke it, and then it broke completely off, but you could still shift it. So we're driving this car up there, using a screwdriver to shift this car up and down through the gears. Up a little bit to reverse, down to reverse. Well, the car ended up driving back up on the trailer. It drove up on the trailer with brakes. This car's already been in now 3 derbies. Alright? This 3rd derby. The shifter's gone, but it's still running. So we decided I'm done with the car. You know, I got my 2 wins. I had fun in it. Well, the car, if you haven't watched my, I did a 3 thing, like a little 3 trilogy about the car, about the wins and everything. It's on my channel. It's like a commentate. I do audio commentary on my video. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. It's a playlist. You'll just look through my playlist and you'll see it. You'll find it. It's called audio commentaries on my derby videos. Well, we had a good playlist there, and We ended up with the car still running. The car still ran. So, I'm gonna, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. We need some more light. It's getting dark. Alright, but so the car is still running by Jefferson. Jefferson was in a couple of days. I think it was just in a few days, so I had that fresh car. I was like, I'm just going to take a fresh car to Jefferson, which was at LeSabre. 97 or 98 LeSabre. I cannot remember the exact year. I think it was the 98. So I was starting to get that one ready. And that's what I was working on while I was, with not needing a car for Clark County that year. Because I was just reusing the car I had. Well, my buddy goes, well, can I drive it in Jefferson? I said, yeah. I said, you don't mind the shifter being broken? He goes, no. He goes, I'll get it done. He said, then I told him, I said, well, just don't avoid walls so that way you don't have to worry about trying to get it out of park into reverse or something. He goes, okay. So he just took it out there in the figure eight. I told him, pretty much, just go ahead and junk the car, destroy it. Well, he came out of the figure eight. I think he got like third place. But he ended up doing pretty good. So that was the fourth Derby that same car was in a figure eight. So we took it out to the console. The car ended up in the console. Well, he made almost a lap, and the car, the motor decided to go boom. It blew. It was done. It would never fire back up. It was done. So the car made it out to the fifth one. Fifth one made maybe a lap. I can't remember. It made maybe one lap around the figure eight for the console, and it decided to just say, goodbye. I'm done. I don't need to run no more. So that car made it through almost 5 derbies. And probably the thing was, we never checked the water in it. We never checked if it had fluids. So he probably ran the car with no water in the radiator. So yeah, that car ended up getting stripped. We stripped it for everything and made good parts off it, and ended up going to the scrapyard. But like I said, 5 years ago today, it was into right now. As far as I can remember, it's the only time I'm actually won in the same car back to back. Even though I ran the car 3 times myself, and my buddy ran it 2 times. So we got 5 runs out of that car. So it was pretty interesting. It was a good car, and still today is one of my favorite cars to run with those old square bike Buick Centuries. Even that I'm slowly getting out of the sport, like as a driver. But like I said, guys, soon I'll be back, and it might be before you know it. But we'll just see what's going on. But like I said, I'm probably talking about this in another video. My retirement will be in the Impala. That'll be the last car I ever run. Will be my Impala. Everybody asks about the Cutlass. Cutlass will be, I want to do something fun because I don't want to get out of derbies. But I still want to have a derby car around, but it's never going to get ran. But I thought about having like one I could put in parades and do some cool stuff with it, and run it, like take the car shows, have it sitting there, and people, I could like explain how you build a derby car and use it for examples and stuff. Do something cool, educate people with derby content and derby cars and stuff. But yeah, guys, that's the 5 years later, talking about my 2 wins with the same car. I thought about making this video a while back, but I was waiting for the day of when I did do this, win. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also, next week is Jefferson County. And I'll talk about that in a few days. Alright, guys, like I always say, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. It's crazy to think 2 years ago I had back-to-back wins. The next year will be my, like I said, I was using this trophy as an example, but it was a little dusty. But Clark County Fair, first place. 8, 17, 19. Right there. He wrote on it. My mom decides, like, you're gonna put a sticker on that for you. Yeah, I might talk about this next year. Because as of right now, I'm done with Clark County derbies, and also I'm done with Berkeley County derbies. But Jefferson, I'll end the video on this, but Jefferson, I've never been done with it yet. Even though it's been 8 years, actually 8 years. 2018 was the last time I ran there. So, 5 years later, who knows? I know I'm going to Jefferson next week, but it's something y'all see. Y'all see. I'll talk about that in another video. Bye, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Like I always say, like, share, and subscribe, and hope you enjoyed the video. Bye, guys.